Good morning. As you can see, I have a special guest today, and I'm going to just throw this out there. He's not like the most willing participant.
No, not at all. Not at all.
All right, so I've been teasing you guys for a few weeks that I was going to have my husband Craig join us on a coffee chat to talk about some relationship stuff. And so he is usually a good sport and goes along with all of my harebrained ideas. He's gotten accustomed to being called Mr. GYPO through the years. But this is his very first ever live anything. So let's give him a hand for that. I'm super proud that he decided to show up and talk about some of the stuff that we're going through with reconnecting as we are entering this next phase of our marriage. And some of our date night fails that we've had recently. Some of the things that are actually working. We haven't had a whole lot of child-free weekends in the past, 22 years?
Over 20.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Sadly. A little bit of backstory on our relationship. He can come up. Come on up. He's being shy today. He's not shy at all. That's the funny thing. Like, he's the extrovert and I'm the introvert. So we met on a blind date 20-some years ago. I don't want to do the math right now. I was 18 and you were what, 21?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. And neither one of us wanted to go. His best friend and my childhood friend fixed us up. I thought the date went well, but he didn't call me for 2 weeks.
Yeah, but I thought it went well too. I just was...
You thought I wasn't interested. That's what you told me. Yeah, so I was kind of standoffish and even a lot more shy back then than I am now. But yeah, so we dated for about a year, and then we went our separate ways for 5 years. And then his mom and I stayed in touch during that time. So she cleverly fixed us back up again. Invited me over for dinner one year when I was home for Christmas. And we rekindled, started talking, started dating, and ended up married like, what, a year after that probably?
Yeah,
maybe a little over a year after that. So, and the rest is history. We've been married for almost 20 years now. We've got 3 kids. We have 2 in college, so we're kind of heading into a new phase of life right now, which we're going to talk more about. And one of the things is we started our marriage like an instant family because I had my son Devin. He was 2 years old, and I don't feel like we ever had that time to do the things that a lot of married couples do before they have kids, like travel and, you know, just kind of get to know each other better and be a couple without kids. So this is honestly completely new territory to us, and we're having to figure it out as we go along. So, you know, I love bringing you guys along on every journey I go on, and this one is no different. So what do you think our biggest challenge has been with
that not having any kids around?
Well, I guess our kid-free weekends.
Oh, yeah. I think it's just finding something to actually converse about other than the kids.
Other than the kids.
Yeah, I think it's finding stuff that we have in common again and being able to talk about it and not having kid issues to talk about all the time. Yeah,
I think that's a big one. And I also think that our date nights are kind of an epic fail. We've tried the 2 free weekends we've had since Aubrey went to college. And we go out to dinner and then we just come home and do like our default things that we've always done, like sitting on the couch and watching TV, which has been interesting because we've realized quickly that if we don't schedule our date nights and schedule our weekends when it's just the 2 of us, that we're just going to go back to our default things that we did when we had the kids at home. So that's been a little bit of a struggle. But some of the ways that we have reconnected that have been successful, and Craig might disagree with this first one, but Orange Theory has been one of our ways that we've reconnected with each other, and it's challenging. I had to twist his arm to come with me. He was not digging it at all.
Well, I had my own routine, and I don't like people telling me what to do as far as working out, and plus it was kind of miserable, to be honest. So.
Yeah.
But it grew on me, and we do it together, so that makes it cool. So I think that's a good thing. Anything you do together, whether you're talking or not, you know, at least you're in the same room and doing the same thing together. I think it's good for sure.
It is, and it's kind of a bonding experience for us because we come out and we're like, oh my gosh, like today we did this terrible leg workout yesterday, and so we can commiserate with our leg soreness today, which is fun. So that's been really good for us, even though at the time it doesn't feel so good. Also cooking, we've been cooking more together. I've been ordering HelloFresh meals, which now that we're really only cooking for two, Ava's at the barn most of the time. It's been nice, like we divide and conquer on those meals, and he does a lot of the chopping and stuff that I hate to do.
And all the cleaning up.
And he does all the cleaning up, ladies. You need to show this to your husband and say, look, Allison's husband does all the cleanup. I love cooking. I hate cleaning, so it works out great. And you like cooking too, but I'm not sure you love cleaning.
No, I don't like cleaning up. I do it just to be nice.
So anyway, I wanted to talk to you about a little bit, some ideas that I'm trying to come up with. And if you guys have been through this phase of life and you have some things that worked for you, obviously our default that I want to go to is to say we would love to travel, but we just aren't quite to that point yet where we have the freedom to do that because Ava's still at home. We have 3 dogs, 2 cats, and it's like, even if we want to go away for a weekend, it seems like a major ordeal. So I don't think we're quite to that phase of life yet, although I'm looking forward to it.
But I think the animals make it more difficult than having one child at home,
yeah,
to be honest with you.
They do. We've discovered rover.com, which has been amazing, and we found a good dog sitter on there that actually takes them to her house. So if you guys haven't done that yet, you might want to check it out. So I found this article at jane-athome.com about 30 things that empty nesters can do, and we're not quite empty nesters yet, but I found a lot of these things were applicable. They're not really date night ideas, although some of them we could turn into date night ideas. I think one of the things that I would eventually love to do with Craig is I'd like to take some Spanish classes together. We both love traveling and we go to Mexico a lot. Craig is a lot more adventurous with his Spanish. I think I know more Spanish, but you speak more Spanish. He's comfortable speaking it. I feel like a total idiot if I'm not going to get the pronunciation right, but he's like willing to always give it a try. So I would like to do that. I think learning something new together is an awesome way to reconnect with your spouse. Some things on this list. The first one is volunteering. It says, why not reach out to others who are hurting? I can't think of a better way to move past heartache. I guess if you're grieving your kids moving out of the empty nest, then this is a way that you can pour back in, and definitely something that I can see us doing.
I actually like that idea.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I think that's a good way for us to not necessarily fill our date nights, but definitely reconnect. Travel, of course, that one, it says it's almost cliche, and I agree that it is, that it's really the perfect time to start planning trips. I have this whole bucket list of places that we would love to go. Declutter your closets, your home, and your life.
Sure.
Yeah, we could tend to do that. I think that we pretty much cleaned Devin's room out when he went off to college. Aubrey comes home a lot of weekends, so we're probably just going to leave hers alone for now, but eventually we're going to have to tackle that. Get your creative juices flowing, rekindle a love of painting, or learn a new skill like photography, calligraphy, chalk art, or sewing. The list is endless. Craig does a lot of my blog photography, actually almost all of it. And so he's been learning photography on his own. And I don't know, I haven't actually been learning it with you. I've been more of a hindrance probably. Our photo shoots are.
I mean, they're sometimes a chore more than they are a hobby, but you know, free time allows it to be a hobby. So it is fun. I do enjoy it, but for sure.
All right, write the book you've always dreamed of writing. I am working on that
dreamed
one.
of writing a book.
If you wrote a book, I can just imagine what the topic would be. All right, start a flower, herb, or vegetable garden. We both like gardening. I think that would be fun. Of course, we live in Texas, which is a huge barrier to gardening.
Yeah, it's so difficult.
Everything dies that we plant. Take better care of yourself, catch up on sleep, spend time in nature. We both like hiking and biking, which is something we never make time for. Yeah. I think that that's a good way for us to spend a weekend. And again, I think the key to this is that we just have to make a schedule and stick to it and say, what's the weather this weekend? This is what we're going to do. And if we have a list of things at the ready and we just sit down and write them out, then it's not going to make it so hard when the time comes.
I just think actually planning it for sure, put it on the calendar, because we'll sit around and decide, what do you want to do today? I don't know. What do you want to do? You know what I mean? And we end up saying that back and forth until we absolutely do nothing. But if we for sure plan it and say at 2:00 we're going to take the bikes and go biking on Saturday, and then we're for sure committed to it. I think that's the main thing, is to just plan it and put it in the calendar.
Right. Because
do it.
If we don't, what we end up doing is saying, instead of what do we want to do today, we say, what do we need to do today?
Right.
Like get groceries and do all the chores and the things that are not fun.
And we just fill up our weekend with chores rather than something to
Exactly.
do fun.
I like this one. Entertain more often. Invite someone over for a casual dinner party. Both of my sisters are kind of in the same phase of life, and they live locally. So that's something we can definitely do a little bit more of, and that would be fun. And my parents are back in town too, so we can do that with them. Let's see.
Like get active on social media.
Get active on social media.
Obviously, we're doing that right now.
Find Facebook groups with like-minded people, or come. Oh, she says find her over on Instagram. I've met some of the nicest, most supportive people on Instagram. I totally agree with that. And Facebook as well. What else? Get in shape, start walking, running, join a health club, take yoga or Pilates. Again, that's been one of the things that we've done that's really worked well for us. I did drag him to a yoga class about, 6 months ago or so?
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was the one that ended up pulling my hamstring in the class, so that didn't go so well. What else? Redecorate your home. I think that's something we
do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we do it kind of.
We do it sporadically.
Yeah.
Like, last fall we did the kitchen, and we've lived in our house for
11 years.
11 years. So we redid our carpets, which desperately needed it. I think our family room is starting to kind of get into the next cycle of updates. We did our front 2 living rooms and the study, but the family room could definitely use some help. We need a new couch in there. But we've been letting the dog on the couch. We've been letting the dog come on the couch at night. And
which
so,
we need to change.
Yeah, we do need to change that back. It doesn't really make me want to buy the new couch when we're doing that.
No.
So improve your relationship with your kids. This is a great time to develop a new, closer relationship with your children. I agree with this. I think now that Devin and Aubrey are in college, our relationships with them are changing. We're more like advisors now whenever they need advice. Not so much parenting like we did when they were home. So it's fun to watch them turn into adults and see that evolution take place and watch them grow up. And would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, they become more of what you didn't want to be when they were kids, as much of a friend, but more of a parent. But now it kind of changes, I think, to more of a friend and advisor rather than have to constantly direct.
And get on to them. We're
still doing that.
Well, with Ava.
No.
With Ava, we're in a totally different phase of parenting right now. It's all about staying on her every day and making sure she's doing what she needs to do and all that good stuff. But and then the next one is, if you're married, this is a great time to strengthen your relationship with your spouse. Again, I think that really has been the biggest opportunity of this life phase for us, is that we loved our parenting years. We got a lot of joy from them. I feel like we were there for every major milestone for our kids, which we're fortunate and blessed to say that we've been able to do that. And I think because we got so much satisfaction from that, maybe that's why we both fear this next phase a little bit. But I think that, again, it's an opportunity for us to dig in and discover some things that we enjoy doing, both separately and together. So it's been great for that.
Yeah, I think, all our spare time was planned for us. Whether we hated some of this stuff, like sitting through, well, this is for me, but sitting through a cheer competition or a gymnastics meet, or, things like that. They were all things that at the time we did, but sometimes we didn't enjoy, but we always had that to do. Now we don't have any of that stuff anymore. So I think it's just a matter of trying to find things that we can put together in our spare time that we both enjoy, and I don't know, we can bond in.
Yeah, just kind of backfilling all of the kid activities that we had for so many years. Take classes, go back to school, finish your degree, or learn a brand new profession. I honestly have no desire to go back to school. I love learning, but I don't want to go back for any advanced degrees. But I have been enjoying more freedom to read, which is something I love to do. So I have extra time to do that, which has been really nice. But yeah, it would be nice to, again, I would like to do the Spanish thing at some point in time. And I really like to take piano lessons, which I've been saying for 15 years?
We need to do it, actually.
I know. I need to just do it. All right, meet with a financial advisor, make sure your affairs are in order, and you'll have enough money to retire. That's something we've been in close contact with our financial advisor for many years. We have 2 kids in college right now, so this has been a really interesting time financially for us because we're actually supporting 3 households. He said 4 because our horse is a household too. So
Yeah.
we're supporting Devin's, Aubrey's, ours, and then we have a horse that we board and Ava takes lessons on. So it's been an interesting time for us, but I think that just really getting ahead of it, and I want to tell our financial story at some point in time because it's kind of pretty incredible. But we did the Dave Ramsey plan, and there's no way that we could have been prepared for this time in life if we hadn't started planning years ago before we honestly even had the income or, you know, anything left over to be able to do that. So it's been good. All right, spend quality time with your parents and siblings. If you're spread out across the country or world, plan a family reunion. That's interesting. Neither one of us have had any family reunions.
No, they've kind of, as we've gotten older, I think kind of fallen off a little bit.
Yeah, so yeah, my parents are here now, which is awesome. We get to spend some more time with them and my sisters. Craig doesn't have that luxury, but we hopefully will get his mom out here to visit sometime soon. All right, discover a new passion, pursue it. I love to do research and learn new things. So last year I delved into our family's ancestry. It was fascinating. I think that would be fun too. Maybe sign up for Ancestry.com and start looking into that. We've all done 23andMe, which has been really fun and enlightening, but I would like to learn more about our ancestry too. This next one.
No, absolutely not.
Get a new pet, train your dog, pet sit, or become a foster pet parent. We love the animals we have. But we did not plan to have the husky, which we got for Devin last Christmas as a Christmas gift.
Don't get your college student a pet.
Yeah, don't. If you don't have college students yet, just don't do it. No, actually, he wanted to take her with him. The issue was that he was home over Christmas break. She created this bond with our golden retriever unlike anything I've ever seen, and then he didn't have the heart, and we didn't have the heart for him to take her when the time came. And we said, well, just leave her here until spring break. Well, spring break turned into, well, now it's October. Yeah, October, almost November. And we now have a husky. So, but we've enjoyed taking her. She's fun. She's a blast. And she's super smart. She was easy to train. And we took her around the neighborhood on the golf cart yesterday.
She loved.
Yes, which she loved. All right, then the last one is something I already do. Read books you've always meant to get into. Go to the movies and watch some binge-worthy series on Netflix that everyone's always talking about. So,
Stranger Things.
Yeah, when's it come back?
I don't know.
I think it's soon. Stranger Things starts soon, right? I know it started last Halloween. Hopefully it's coming up soon. But we love Stranger Things. We haven't been to any movies lately. I've checked out a few, but nothing really struck our fancy. And I'm a lover of books. Craig likes to read fiction, but you don't really make much time for it.
No, only when we vacation. That's about it.
Yeah, he's more of a tinkerer. When I read my books, he'll go out into the garage and tinker with things, which, hey, it works. All right, so anyway, if you have some suggestions, I already see comments coming in on some things that have worked great for you for reconnecting, for date nights. We would love to hear those, and we will keep you updated on our journey as it evolves over the next few months or so, and hopefully I can drag Craig back on again. So give him lots of encouragement, and we will make him come back and be our regular guest, right? All right. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys have an awesome day. Bye.
Thanks, bye.